Now, here in Scotland, the ancient tradition of basket weaving can be traced back a staggering 9,000 years to the early settlers in the Hebrides who weaved willow baskets to catch their fish. Now, with these designs and patterns being passed down through the generations, modern basket makers today are carrying on the tradition using the same techniques as their forebears. Well, the techniques may not have changed, but modern practitioners are adding their own contemporary twist, creating objects of beauty and practicality. I'm here to meet Lise Bech, who's one of Scotland's leading willow weaving artists, and hopefully I'm going to have a lesson in weaving willow and make something of my own. Lise is a one-woman weaving dynamo. She and her husband Ian have turned a barren patch of countryside in the southern uplands into a veritable oasis. In the middle of this patch, Lise has all the raw materials she needs. Lots of homegrown willow. Lise,
Hi,
hello.
Welcome to Downwood.
Thank you. That's really
Come
nice.
on in.
Can I come in?
Yeah, sure.
Lise is living the dream, having turned her hobby into a career as an internationally renowned artist. Lise, your work is beautiful. It's so sculptural and eye-catching. The willow looks like it's alive and breathing, and nature's intended these organic forms.
Well, I grow my own willow and I live in a beautiful landscape, so I can go out, harvest the willow and really try to emulate nature, but I know I'll never get there.
But I think you have. I can see where your inspirations are, you know, with nature and your surroundings, but at the same time, you know, from a distance, you would think, actually, these are centuries old. Because you've copied those same traditions, you've used those same techniques, you've given it a different twist and a different flavour.
This could be a fish trap or a lobster pot, and it is exactly those techniques that I have used.
There are so many different hues here.
Yes.
You're using different species of willow, aren't you?
I'm using different species of willow. I've got about 22 different varieties growing in the garden.
And they all grow here?
Yeah, yeah. And some of them, you know, they do come in the sort of greens and browns and occasionally into black and orange.
And this one, to me, well, that's incredibly organic. It reminds me of a seed pod slightly. Mm-hmm. Would that be fair
I'm
in
happy
saying?
for how it speaks to you.
But it's moving, it's got movement and it's got energy.
Yes.
And it catches the light. You can see that when you turn it. And from whatever angle you look at that.
There's always something of interest.
It's a wonderful piece of sculpture.
I'm making one at the moment, shall I?
Are you?
Show
Are you
you
halfway through one?
More or less.
Can we have a look at the technique
Yes.
and just watch it develop?
Yes, I'd love to show you.
Oh, brilliant. Gosh, you are quick, Lise. Obviously, this is really advanced and I couldn't tackle something like this, but could you show me something very basic that you could make with a good master maker like you? Let's say something I could make in 30 minutes.
I can show you how to make, I call it a bird feeder, but you can use it to store your onions in or garlic.
Oh, I'd like the sound
soap.
of that. We can hang it up in the kitchen.
Very useful.
Okay.
I like useful items.
Learning from someone like Lise is a real privilege, but what she calls a simple design may be a bit tricky.
Now, I have to warn you, this can be addictive.
Okay.
You put the first one in, around a stake, come back on itself. That's good. Can you feel how meditative it can be? You know, the rhythm of it.
Very therapeutic.
This weaving stroke is called three-rod whaling.
Three-rod whaling. And where does this originate?
Don't ask.
Okay.
I think it must be Anglo-Saxon.
In the past, woven baskets were an essential part of everyday life, used for catching, gathering and storing food. Keeping these skills alive is hugely important, but as I'm finding out, it's not as easy as Lise makes it look. Pull right in and bend. Lise is right, however. Once you get the hang of it, it's actually quite relaxing and quite addictive. And there's nothing better than picking up new skills, even if they are old ones. Something bend. It won't be quite the art Lise can make, but I think it's just as satisfying. I can't believe I've made that. Obviously, I couldn't do it without your help. But it is possible for someone like me to make something like this in half an hour. if you've got the kit and the tuition. So thank you so much, Lisa. I'm going to look out for your work in the art galleries because I know they will become the collectibles and the antiques of the future. Big thank you.
You're very welcome. And here I have some willow cuttings for you. If you put these in the ground, you will get your own willow bed.
Will I?
Yes.
Fantastic, thank you,
There you are.
because that has inspired me to do something at home. If I had the willow,
Yeah.
I will do something.
Yeah. And then you can start a collection of different willow plants and increase your palette as you go.
Thank you. Well, there you are. Look, something to hang the onions and the garlics in today. Could be baskets tomorrow. But seriously, though, I will go home, plant this willow up, have fun in watching it grow and be creative with it. It's relatively easy if you have the right teacher. And it's quite refreshing to meet people like Lisa as well, living the good life, being inspired by nature and the seasons and creating something, well, out of nothing virtually. If I was you, I'd give it a go as well. It's a breath of fresh air.